All right, hi everybody. It's good to see you. Today we are going to use color lookup tables to improve the look of your Unreal projects. Lookup tables are a real easy way in post-processing to improve the color grading. So what we're going to need to do that, and I do recommend you do this more as a final step in your adjustment process. I wouldn't really do this until after you're pretty happy with the lighting. Don't use this to fix lighting completely. You can use it to enhance it, make things look better, make colors pop, but you don't use it to don't use it for everything, because then you're going to be fighting it later when you add new assets in. You're going to have to kind of imagine what they would look like without the LUT, and then how the LUT adjusts it. So my opinion is to use this at the end to really put your work over the top. Okay, so the first thing you need in order to do this, you're going to need Unreal 5.6 is what I'm using right now, and Photoshop. So those are the two tools, and you're going to need a lookup table, like the standard lookup table from Unreal. So right now I have my tutorial / test game room open, and what you want to do is take a screenshot. So get it full screen, get your cursor off of it. You can play it to get the toolbar off. You can have the toolbar go off in the menu, but you don't want any HUD elements, because those will be part of your color grading. So you just want the scene. So take a minute and get all of that off there and take a screenshot however you want. You could use print screen or whatever from Windows. So that's the first step. So take your screenshot and then open up Photoshop, and here we go. And you have your screen, and you're going to need your original lookup table. This is going to be like the standard one that if you applied it to the post-process volume, there'd be no changes whatsoever. So where do you get that, you ask? And I say, get it from the Unreal documentation. Let me show you. Donk. There you go. Unreal Engine, using lookup tables and LUTs for color grading. You scroll down a little bit, and here's the color neutral LUT. That's the one you want. Right click, save image, put it wherever. That's the one you're going to need. You could also go through and read this. Good read, which is basically a lot of the reason I know any of it was from just reading this. It has a lot of good information. So let's shut that down. Okay, now that you have your screenshot in Photoshop, and you have your LUT table that you got from the website in Photoshop, and you've got those kind of open, now we're going to apply edits to our original screen that we can apply to the LUT, that then we could take back into Unreal, and it'll actually adjust the image post-process using the new lookup table, which will basically make it look pretty much exactly the same as the edits that we do in Photoshop. So that's severely powerful. If you've used Photoshop, you know you can fix colors, you can do all sorts of neat stuff. Really, really neat. So you can see over here this adjustments tab. Now these adjustments will make layers on top of your layer that will add these adjustment layers. You need the adjustments to be separate adjustment layers. You can't just apply them to the regular image and expect this process to work. They need to have your own adjustment layers. If you don't see this in your toolbar, you can go to Window, and here's adjustments right there. Also, you can go edit, image, adjustment layers, stuff like that. You can add them in different ways. Here you go. Layer, adjustment layer, and then you can add them this way. But you need to make sure whatever you're doing is it's an adjustment layer, and you're not just adjusting the brightness and contrast of the main master layer. So, okay, now with that out of the way, let's show you how this works. Now what we do is we can make adjustments to this, your main picture, and then move those adjustments over to the LUT, save the LUT as the new LUT, and then that LUT we would put in a post-process volume in Unreal, and it would adjust the image in Unreal. So let me show you how that works, and we're going to do a couple variations and quick ones, because you can play around with the actual adjustments yourself and get it kind of looking however you want. But we're going to do a goofy one, and we're going to do kind of a more normal one. So let's do the goofy one first. So we're going to go, we'll do a posterize. See how that kind of makes everything crazy. And let's adjust the opacity of that down. I don't know, say like that. Okay, now it's still too dark. So let's do levels. Let's see if we can adjust it up a little bit, maybe. Adjust the colors just a tiny bit and kind of make it look crazy, right? So there you go. That looks pretty crazy, but we can get our level to look like that in Unreal. So now you take these two layers that you put on top here, and now we have to put them over the top of the RGB table, the original LUT there. So grab them, you hold Control, you can grab and click on both layers, you get them both together, and then drag them over and just put them on top of the other one, right? There must have been one there from something else I was doing. But here you go. Now you've got them both on top there, and you can make sure you did it right. You make them invisible, make them visible, and then you can see the LUT table is changed. So let's save that. Let's see where I'm saving this here. This looks good, actually. We'll call this LUT A. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'm probably going to get rid of it once I'm done. All right, so we'll save one, and I'll just, because I want to show you the difference. And then we'll do another one. So we'll grab and delete these two layers off of here and get us back to our original background. I don't know what happened there. Okay, now we're back to normal. This is what we started with. Now, you can see like my original level is actually pretty well color graded, but not, you know, it's okay. It's hard to get it perfect, so that's what you would do with the lookup table. And it's a lot easier than pulling around sliders in Unreal and trying to, oh, here's the brightness one, and here's gamma, and blah, blah, blah. So right now, let's do another one. Let's make sure we have the layers off of both the original lookup table and our screenshot. And this time we're going to do one more like, hey, this is what we're actually doing. So let's just pop a levels on. And you can either hit auto here and see how that like brightens everything up. I don't think that's good. Now, if you hit that auto and you're happy with that, then great. Or you could adjust the opacity and get it down and use that as kind of a base to try to help out with your colors, and maybe that would work. I don't know, but I'm not going to use that. So we're going to delete that. And let's do another levels. Now, sometimes there's more auto options that you can't really see when you pull up, like, okay, so I have levels here, and now you have the properties here. If you go to the hamburger up here, you have more auto options. So click on that, and now it'll do the same thing, but it'll also give you other options. So you have find dark light colors, enhance per channel contrast, enhance monochromatic contrast. So we're probably going to pick one of these two middle ones. This is dark and light colors. Already you can see it's really neat looking. It really does make things pop a little bit better. Per channel contrast, that's another one. I like that. That's probably the one we're going to use. And then monochromatic, either way, you know, all of these are interesting. They all look good. So I'll show you the difference. We'll just do the per channel contrast here. And let's make it invisible. This is our original. This is the new one. Okay? You see how it just, maybe it's not as apparent, which is why I did the other version also. But yeah, it makes it just pop a little bit better. So now we'll do the same thing. We'll hold shift, pull this over, and put it on top of this lookup table here. And now, let's just make sure that everything's good. I like to make it visible and invisible so I can see the change. Now we'll save this one out. And we'll save it as LUT B. Alright, so the hard part's pretty much done. There's a couple things you need to do in Unreal, but other than that, we can minimize Photoshop for now. Who knows with me if I'll have to go back. And we'll open up Unreal. And let's see, we're going to find a place to import these. So I'm going to put them in Textures Master. And I'm just going to import to current folder. And we'll just navigate to it if I can remember where I put it. There we go. LUT A and LUT B. That was faster than I expected. So just open those two. Now there are a couple properties that you're going to want to set in Unreal. So just open LUT A, and then let's see. We go in texture group, we want to go color lookup table. So MIPS, this will be color lookup table here. Right there. And then make sure that no MIP maps is selected. So I always struggle to find this. I do it so rarely. So you go to texture group here, color lookup table, and MIP map generation. No MIP maps. You don't want to MIP map it. And then save it. That's LUT A. And close that down. Let's open up LUT B, do the same thing. Go to color lookup table. Kind of weird that these aren't in alphabetical order or something, but whatever. And no MIP maps, and save that. Now that you have that, you have to make sure that you have a, let's go out of game mode and hit G so you can get all your cursors up. Looks like I already put another one in there too, so let's get rid of that one I got in there now, and we'll put another one in again. So what you need to do, you need to have a post-process volume in there. I already have one in for this because I'm making adjustments already on the scene, but I still will show you how to put one in, because I feel like that would be better just in case you don't know. So you go to place actors here over on the left, and we go look it up. Post process, I just put post in, post process volume, pull and drag into your scene. It'll put mine in as post process 2 because I have it as 2. So now what the post process volume is going to do is once you're in that bounding box, that's when it's going to apply the post processing. So what you could do is have different ones for different sections of the level, which I've done in the past to some pretty decent effect. You could, a lot of different things you can do with it. And maybe I'll go over that in a future tutorial. But now that you have this in here, if you don't want to have to mess with the bounding box, if you go to the details of the post process and you search out bounds or infinite extent unbound, you want to click this, and then it'll just do your whole level. So you just tick that on, and boom, now you're good. So now that we have that, I'll go back to my original post process volume here. Okay, so you can see I have that ticked in my original one. So now in here, you just, once you're in a post process volume, we're going to look up LUT. And you can see, for some reason, it pulls up Bloom. And here, in miscellaneous right here, these are, I'll pull this out a little bit so we can read it. This tells you color grading LUT intensity and color grading LUT. So let's just make sure we're clicked on that. I'm going to go turn off game mode, or back to game mode by pushing G. And now we can just throw our LUTs in there and see what happens, right? So here it is right here. So let's do LUT A because that was the goofy one, right? Click on it, pull LUT A right into there. And there you go. Pretty cool, huh? And now, let's make it full screen. See, now it has adjusted the colors everywhere. Kind of gives you a really crazy filter effect, and you can mess with all of the different adjustments that you can do in Photoshop, and you can do all sorts of nifty, neat effects with that, right? And if you want, of course, you can do the intensity down and up, so you can like maybe have it do it just a tiny bit, and then maybe that just improves everything, right? So basically the idea is, let's just put it back to 1 for now. Basically the idea, and I'll shut this down and open up Photoshop real quick again. You can do all of these adjustments in Photoshop, look at the results in Photoshop, move these on top of this LUT table, save it out, bring it into post-process volume, and it will essentially look the same as what it looked like in Photoshop. Very powerful. So let's put LUT B on, just to kind of finish this out. And there you go. There's LUT B. And like if you turn it on and off, see how it's a little bit more intense and the colors kind of pop out a little bit more. And you know, depending on what you do, let's play it actually. But depending on what you do, you can really, really make your scenes pop. And you just, all you got to do, maybe change brightness contrast, maybe change color grading, maybe change the curves, maybe change the levels. It's really powerful, really great. You can see all the different ones here in Photoshop. Got vibrance, color balance. But again, you have to have it as a level over your level. Or a layer over your original layer is what I meant to say. And then you can bring those over on top of the LUT, save it, and follow the rest of the instructions that I gave you already. And you should be good. And it'll take your Unreal projects to kind of like the next level. Again, don't do this, at least I wouldn't recommend doing a lot of the post-process stuff. And I'm going to go over quite a bit more post-process stuff, but I don't recommend doing a lot of it until you're pretty happy with the lighting to begin with. Like I would say in this one, I was happy enough with the lighting. Now, it looks better with the LUT for sure, or maybe not. I don't know. It depends on your taste, but I'm happy with it, and then you can do the adjustments. There's a bunch of other adjustments in the post-process volume, and we can go over that later. But I just thought showing you the LUT, very useful. Something that wasn't like readily apparent when I kind of was trying to figure this out. So that's basically it. I want to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. It's great. This one, I don't know, was a tricky video for me to make, but I mean, we got through it. So, and I hope you have a really great day, and thanks a lot.